Today's big idea is to understand the scientific process, including some vocabulary words. For homework tonight, you guys will need to watch this video and then take some notes over it, and I will show you in the next slide here how I want you to set up your notes. Your essential question that you should be able to answer by the end of this video, and if you don't know the answer to it, you're going to want to go back and watch the video again, is what are the steps that a scientist takes when investigating a topic? Back here where I had your notes, what that's going to look like is on this side you're going to write the word question, which as you can tell I'm trying to write it here. You write question on this side, and then on the other side you would write in the definition for question. So we'll come to like a T-chart looking thing. And on this side, over here on the left-hand side of your T-chart, you're going to put the vocabulary terms. And we will start with the first. So we've got posing questions. So on that left-hand side, you're going to write the word posing questions. And on the right-hand side, you're going to write ask questions, be curious. Because that's the first step in the scientific method is you guys got to come up with a problem. You got to come up with something that you can investigate. The next thing is the hypothesis. So you're going to write the word hypothesis on the left-hand side of your T-chart, and then you're going to write an if-then statement on the right-hand side, because a hypothesis is basically a guess, okay? But it's an educated guess. This is a guess that a scientist makes after they have some knowledge of the topic because they researched. And they write it with the words if, and then they say blah, 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 then blah, 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 blah will happen. Okay, and we'll talk more about a hypothesis here in a little bit. All right, the next thing is the setup. You are going to set up your controlled investigation. This means that only one thing can be changed and tested at a time. Now, we need to control as many things as possible so that we are not interrupting the variable that we are testing. And we'll talk about that in a little bit too. Next one is collect your data. So on this step in the process, you will do your investigation. You will actually do it, and then you will record your observations. And the last step is to draw conclusions. This is a statement saying if your hypothesis was right or wrong. It doesn't matter if your hypothesis was wrong. Remember, failure is an option in this class. Okay, there will be times as a scientist that you will not have a correct hypothesis, and that is completely fine. So scientific questions. So now at the bottom of your notes, you're just going to continue here with scientific questions. These can be tested. They have something you are testing and you are manipulating to get a result. So an example of a scientific question would be, does the speed of a car affect the lifetime of the tires? Okay, so we have something that we can actually manipulate. We can change the speed of the car and see what it does to the tires. Okay. The next question, not an example. Do chocolate candy bars taste yummy? Can we test that? Yeah, we can give candy bars to each person and take a poll, but we're not changing anything. Okay, there's nothing there that we are changing. So that's just kind of an opinion question, not really testable. Variables, this is what is changed. You can only get one variable that you change during the investigation, and that's actually called an independent variable. It's the variable you change. So I want you to, on that T-chart, write the word independent variable on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, it's the variable you change. And the dependent variable is the other variable. This is a variable that responds to the independent variable. So it changes or something happens because of what you changed. Okay, so you're going to write the word dependent variable on the left-hand side of your chart, and on the right-hand side you would write the words the variable that responds to the independent variable. Now, here's the example and probably something you'd want to put on that chart that you're taking notes on. Because you have some vocabulary words there, you might want to have an example down because it may help you. So the example question is, does the amount of sunlight affect the plant growth? So we're changing how much sun we get. We got 3 plants. So we're going to put one in the dark, we're going to put one that's always in the sun, and we're going to put one that's like half sun, half shade. Okay? We're going to then every day measure how much the plant has grown. So we change the amount of light. We've purposely put these plants in different amounts of light, okay? But we did not physically grab the root of the plant and pull on it and make it grow, right? We didn't do that, okay? What we did, though, we just changed the light, and so the plant growth then responded to how much sunlight it got. Okay, so we changed the light. That's the independent variable, and I like to call that the IV, like I and then V. Okay, the plant growth changed because of our light or because of our IV, so that's the DV, the dependent variable. Now we've got the types of observations. So you're out there, you're collecting your data, you're observing things. Well, there are two ways to observe. There's what I like to call qualitative observations, and there's quantitative. So on the left-hand side, you write qualitative observations. These are no numbers. You just use your senses to observe what's going on. So examples of qualitative observations that you might notice during an experiment. Red, it's fluffy. Something's moving quickly. It's smooth to the touch. Quantitative observations. These are measurements or amounts that you observe. So an example, there were 12 dots on the ladybug. The bug moved 6 centimeters in width across the track or something like that. Okay? The rock weighs 3 grams. Those are quantitative, and it's got the word quantity in it. So if you think about if you're finding the quantity of something, you're trying to find the amount, how much of it. So it's a number thing. Quality would be like we're out there trying to explain what it looks like, what it smells like, what it tastes like. Those are qualities. All right, and that is all of your notes for the scientific method. So what you're going to do tomorrow when you come to class, or the next day at class, you're going to show me these notes, and these will be your ticket to participate in a really cool lab. So you're definitely going to want to have these notes for tomorrow. I will see you guys later.